and by the way, the reason I signed, the reason I had you breathe before is because you was like, yo, this the hometown crowd. They from Yonkers. They was at the Garden. Harlem's closer to the Garden. That was Dipset. That could have been Dipset's room. But they didn't take it. Because they couldn't take it. Ladies and gentlemen, you have locked into Rap Life. We're going to talk to Low Key. We're going to talk to Nadeska. What are the most important conversations that are going on in hip-hop right now, as well as run through some of the hottest songs on the playlist. So y'all keep it locked right here. This is Rap Life. Listen, is the Kanye West Donda, is it an album? Like an album in the sense of like what we have known albums to be, which is something that we can all go listen to at our leisure. Or, and I just started this today. Mos Def's last album you could not buy. You could only go listen to it at the Brooklyn Museum. It was an art installation album thing. Now, this is me giving Kanye the benefit of the doubt, by the way. Look at Nadeska's face. Is Kanye trying to recreate what an album experience is, where maybe we'll never get the Donda album. It'll just be these constant live streams and, him renting out stadiums for the rest of the year where people come and listen to the album with him standing with a mattress in some Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome jacket. I don't know.
I mean,
if that's
the case, are you going to be out there listening? First of all, I mean, Apple Music right now says allegedly there might be a Donda album coming, right? Today, but it also said August 15th, right? That's like Sunday, that's my birthday.
It also said August 7th. It also said August 9th. Like,
bro, who has time? No, I'm not going to say 40,000 people did have time for this. I know that some of his celebrity friends showed up, right? Rick Ross was at the stadium saying he was there to watch history unfold. So I know there are a lot of people that if that is the case, they would go out and listen to it, but not me. I guess I'll just never hear this Kanye album. I don't have the energy for this. Nas just put out a great album. Can we just listen to that instead?
Wait.
I don't even need Donda.
We'll get to it. But listen now. Right, and this all kind of ties together. We'll talk about Lox and Dipset, but I thought it was awesome that the Lox was on the Next Thing Smoking, and they threw some verses on this Donda project that got streamed. It sounded phenomenal. What I heard in the stream.
Never the right time to go.
Listen, I'm cool. Like, I just want to hear the music. I'm good on the 40,000 people renting out the stadium for 2 weeks. I'm good on the leather outfits. I'm good on sleeping in the stadium. I'm good. Like, I want to be objective. I want to hear the music. I want to judge it for what it is. I saw some good reviews during the whole streaming thing, but I'm cool on all this.
Now, so let's talk about the Lox and Dipset, or the Lox being on the Kanye album, and I don't know if Justin LaBoy is a reliable source, but also not only the amount of people that were in the stadium, but the amount of people who are on the album, but also he is now the spokesperson for Kanye West, Justin LaBoy. I don't, as much as we know, says that there is a Watch the Throne 2 by the end of the year, Jay-Z and Kanye West. Is that a reliable source, Nadeska?
You're asking me if that's a reliable source?
Yo, when Nadeska responds with a question, that means out of here, man.
What do we even?
Like, really?
Well, I'm glad you knew. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say here. I really don't know. Do you guys feel like he's a reliable source?
Bro,
I mean,
is that
he's
a
the
reliable
only source. He's the only one we got. Clearly, nobody's stopping him.
Yeah, you know what? It used to be Kim Kardashian. Remember, there was like a few years where Kim Kardashian was the most musical, but she was at the listening, right? So maybe if Kim tweeted about this, then fine, I would believe it.
She don't speak for him no more. She can't talk for him no more. He done already blew it with the Trump.
Ebro.
Kim's like, I ain't doing it.
Ebro. You really sat there and watched that tweet fly into the Twitterverse and said, "Yeah, we about to get another Watch the Throne." You really
I didn't say that. Like, that's not what I said. You never heard those words come out of my mouth. I actually was asking my friends if that's a reliable source.
But we're asking you as the OG. You really think?
As an OG, as an OG, I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore. Hit Boy at the Nas King's Disease album listening seemed to throw some jabs at Kanye West yet again, saying it's not 100 people in the studio producing beats. It's not 100 dudes rhyming. It's 2 in the studio. And I hear right now, homie, it's going down. King's Disease 2, stream that shit, buy that. That was from Hit Boy. Now, people are saying that's Kanye West shots. He didn't say Kanye's name, but based on him having things to say about Kanye and what was going on last week when this Nas album dropped, people put that together. Nadeska, would you say that that's a shot at Kanye West?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a shot at Kanye West. I don't know what he said about him recently, but the last time I spoke to Hit Boy for Apple Music, we talked about, the time that he worked with Ye, and it sounded like they obviously had some tension. He felt like Kanye maybe didn't have his best interest in heart as like an upcoming producer, down to things like telling him that putting his tag on songs was really tacky, and then other producers going on to do that, and that really being big for their careers. So I'm going to go with the yes. This was probably directed at Kanye, and again, I love it. He should talk his shit. Him and Nas just put out another incredible album. I think this one is even better than the original King's Disease. So for them to just drop this project, like you said, without the super hype, overinflated rollout, and it to just be an amazing, such an impactful project, and Kanye is doing all this extra shit, I love it.
This goes back to what Hit Boy has tapped into, what Hit Boy is doing with these legends. Like Charlie Wilson, he had EPMD, Eminem, bringing Nas back to that 95, 96 feel. And then I can't remember the last time I heard Lauryn Hill on a record, let alone her just sounding just like so fresh and so authentic and so on point. It just goes back to so much credit we have to give to Hit Boy. So when he talks his about not having 100 in the studio, just 2, iconic dudes making magic together, like, I'm not mad at him for talking his shit. I'm not mad at him for throwing jabs at whoever he's throwing them at. Obviously we think it's Kanye, but I can't get mad at that. So you're bringing Nas back to his original style. You're bringing Lauryn back to the forefront. Like, that should pump his chest, get Grammys, all Billboard. Like, I'm loving all of this. I sat with Nas's album like the entire weekend. That sounds like one cohesive project. And I don't know if Hit Boy's been here before. I don't know if this man is just an old soul, but that man is young as and tapping into, like, I don't know who else could he do this for? Like,
he's studying, man. He's studying. He's studying.
He studies his craft. He loves his crafts. He's earning his flowers. And I'm that's my guy. It's my friend. I texted him that night when the album came out. Bro, I'm here for it, man.
But I'm also here for these young boys, getting their comeuppance, if you will, in the game. Like, that's part of the evolution of the game, and it keeps the spirit of the game fresh. And you know what I mean? Talk your just like y'all saw Tyler, the Creator, over the weekend in a conversation I had on my show on Hot 97, talking that about what happened when Khaled took shots at him. And him being like, I just let the music speak. You know what I'm saying? People kept trying to push me to the side. And I just kept letting the music speak. And now all these that called me the weirdo, always wanted to put me off to the side. Now you see what my talents are and what I bring to the game. You know what I mean? And Tyler's 30 years old. Hit Boy's probably 28, 30 years old. I feel like hip hop's in good hands with these dudes.
Yeah, I love that interview that you guys did with Tyler, and him caring about his craft, and him, loving what he does, and him giving Jada his flowers, even though he wasn't a big Locks fan, being from the West Coast. It's like when the guys that are that young and that influential understand what comes before them, that makes me appreciate them more. Even Tyler putting Drama on his project. It's like a lot of these young kids didn't know who Drama was, what Gangsta Grills is, and how influential he was for Jeezy and T.I. and Gucci and Wayne, and the list goes on. And for Tyler to understand that and put that on his album, that's one of the best projects of 2021. You gotta just love and respect who he is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the biggest Tyler fan, but just watching that interview let me know, like, this kid he studies his craft. He cares. Just like he kept saying about Jada. He cares. And that's what you want to see with these young guys. We want to see that you care about the craft. It may not be our style of music. It might, like, you dress your way, you do your thing, and this and that third. But like, now that I know you care about the craft, like, yeah, I'm gonna just tip my hat to you. Like, he tore down Lollapalooza. That man is a performer. He's a student of the game. So hats off to Tyler, because that man cares.
I still hope we get more Igor type projects though. Like, I love that Tyler can still be that alternative and have this crazy fan base that will boo Drake at a festival because they don't care. Like, not a lot of people are booing Drake, but knowing that he's still such a hardcore hip hop fan. But on this note, I have kind of a random thought. So on the track Moments, Nas is talking about how his whole career he stayed away from features, but now he feels like it's time to embrace the new leaders. Does anyone else feel like, of all the great features that were on this album, maybe at some point it would be cool to get a J. Cole feature? Remember the whole saga of J. Cole letting Nas down and all of that? We know Cole has a lot of feelings about all this generational thing. I would really actually love to hear them together on a hip hop beat.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
So, without a doubt, without question, Nadeska is the biggest J. Cole fan on this program.
Okay, I don't have much competition though, but fine.
But I'm just saying, I'm trying to give you credibility in it. Okay.
Thank you.
In what you're about to say. The Let Nas Down song. I heard the song. It was an interesting song when I first heard the song, but I saw the fan base of J. Cole at the time. I didn't get what him saying he let Nas down, or fans being mad that he made the record, or the record not being received well. What's the story with the whole record and the fans not either liking it, not liking it? What's the big deal there?
Oh, I mean, I don't remember anyone being mad about it. I didn't feel particularly emotional. I guess what I took away from that is, like, J. Cole sounded like he went through a period where he was really hurt because he grew up loving Nas. He was someone he idolized. And I think the songs that he was making, he was open that there was a period in his career he felt like he couldn't necessarily find his sound. Like, he was trying to chase the hit, because especially when you're signed to someone like Jay, you're going to want a big hit when you're dropping an album. But he was struggling with that. So it sounded like maybe Nas had heard some of his records and was maybe a little bit critical behind the scenes, like thinking maybe he wasn't living up to his potential kind of thing. And that's where that song came from. So I don't think it was anything about anyone being like mad or upset. It was just kind of an emotional moment for him. So knowing how much Cole still, idolizes Nas is doing all these collaborations now, he's open to it. I just think it would be like just a cool full circle moment. Not that there's any beef necessarily.
Got it. Okay. The biggest event in hip hop I believe, this is the biggest thing in hip hop in 2021. It rivals what Kanye was trying to create at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that is the Lox and Dipset Verzuz. Mm-hmm. And not only was it watched live, but then the story was retold, and that was celebrated when Fat Joe retold the story. That's how much of an amazing event it was. Not only was the event itself amazing, but Fat Joe telling stories, which Fat Joe does every day. He told a story about being there, and that was also celebrated and trended everywhere. Lo, I think you said that Dipset was going to win the battle.
Yeah. So I've been getting approached. I've been getting ridiculed.
Approached.
I've been getting, just everyone that's seen me and watches this platform and watches my Twitter and Instagram knows how hard I was riding for Dipset, because their catalog, if we look at their catalog in regards to hit records and to anthems, and like I said, their catalog rivals the Lox. But what we saw Tuesday night was showmanship. We saw three dudes take advantage of being in their hometown, being the underdog, being people, that they care. Like Tyler was saying, they care about the culture. And we saw Jada.
You look at his face right now. He's taking a deep breath like he's about to slander you. I don't think it was wild that you thought going in that Dipset was.
I was wrong.
But you have nothing to defend. Before we get further into this, Lo, you defending yourself over here and Ebro just making faces at you. Ebro, have you paid this man yet? Because you didn't even think a lot of people were going to tune into this stream.
Yes. I need my 100.
What's really good?
Oh yeah, nah.
Yeah, what's going on?
But first of all, we made that bet off the air, so that wasn't even on the air, so that was that part. Second of all, I bet, for clarity, I told you that the Lox was gonna win, and I just thought that the numbers wouldn't be as high as they actually were. And I'm glad I was wrong. I'm happily giving you that $100. I just didn't think that it would resonate. Why would you think that? I didn't think it would resonate with people in other parts of the country and world the way it did. Because I honestly didn't think that people would understand the LOX importance. And not just the LOX, but Jada's importance. I didn't think that was... And by the way, one of the biggest headlines that you see from the is, I'm glad that people understand now. Oh, Jada Kiss reminded people, et cetera, et cetera. So I had the number wrong, right? I didn't think they would break 400,000. They got to 6. So, okay, I was off by 200,000. My bad. But it was because I know that people in your generation, Lo and Nadeska, romanced the mid-2000s and don't understand the difference between dope in the mid-2000s and what the true dope, super dope is that birthed y'all is. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, sir, I don't like when you put the emphasis on my name like that. I don't like it.
Not only that, but let me go a step further. The Dipset, as much as I love Cam, Jim, and Jewels, they got some hits. They do not, and I repeat, do not have as much material, both mainstream and underground and beef records as Jada Styles, Sheik, and the LOX. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to go a step further. Jewels and Cam both played themselves in the battle, just like from the 2000s that, listen, you know what the Dipset had? They had swag. You know what the Dipset had? They had anthems, sing-along joints. But when it comes to performance on the stage, which is what Verzuz is, and when it comes to barring it up, like literally being able to tell stories with the pen and make people listen line for line for line, that is a craft that not a lot of people have. It is a very hard thing to do, which is why most artists these days be like, nah, I'm not really a rapper, I'm an artist. Yeah, because you not nice like that came before you. So don't call yourself a rapper. You're an artist, and I'm good with that. Right. You melody, you auto-tune, but I say all that to say, even Cam was like, yo, you ain't got no records about New York. What? Jewels, oh, y'all ain't got no records for the girls. What? Are you
ladies and
saying
gentlemen,
right now?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ebro. This is Ebro on his Jada Kiss right now. He's basically Jada at the Verzuz battle. Just going crazy.
Right now. No, by the way, and the reason I had you breathe before is because you was like, yo, this the hometown crowd. They from Yonkers. They was at the Garden. Harlem's closer to the Garden. That was Dipset. That could have been Dipset's room. But they didn't take it. Because they couldn't take it.
No, listen. They came in there. The Diplomats came in there built on swag and persona and personality. They didn't sequence their records at all. You could tell they didn't rehearse at all.
Bruh,
listen,
they could have rehearsed for 4 weeks.
Listen. The LOX, yes, they barred them up. We all know the LOX are superior lyrically. We all know that. That was never in question. But when you're watching the verses like this, I was leaning on the hits. I was leaning on like these have these anthems coming out. They're gonna roll it out the way they're supposed to, and they didn't have planned. You could tell they didn't have planned. So yeah, so hats off to the LOX. I was wrong. Dipset disappointed, and the LOX took the crown. That's it.
I should get my money back. You was so that's how wrong you were.
You shouldn't. I shouldn't even have to pay you. I shouldn't even have to pay you $100. You was down the viewership in New York. You was downplaying how important this was. So now I should get an extra 100.
I was down. I did not have faith in most people. You're right. I do not have faith. That's crazy. Because I'm constantly let down. I'm constantly let down and disappointed when it comes time for people to actually appreciate greatness.
Let me even ask you this. So with this whole, just the celebration of what happened Tuesday, will we get another glimpse of this at Summer Jam?
I mean, listen, there is a Swizz Beatz New York City tribute to DMX going on at Summer Jam.
Okay. Just wanted to, I wasn't sure if this has heightened.
I'll let y'all know right now. I gave it 24 hours for everybody to calm down. I called Jada. I said, my man, what's happening, bro? I need a record today. like right now. Like, what are we doing? I got you. He was fly. It was when he was fly. I didn't know. He was like, yo, I'm about to get on a plane right now and go fly down to Atlanta. And, you know, Kanye done, now he was like, yo, everybody calling me. Even Kanye want me on the album. I was like, y'all run the play. I said, but if Kanye wants you on that album, I need Kanye to give you a beat too. Like, let's make this a reciprocal thing. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, Kanye can't even finish his album. How you gonna do it? We're gonna be waiting for a Jadakiss song for 5 years. Like,
nah, I mean, he might delay Donda another 6 months just to make sure you get the right beat. He knows this is important.
Man, Donda ain't coming out, man. This is everybody just that ain't coming out.
It's all good because between Verzuz and this Nas album, like what a month for New York legend. We're good.
Yo, Verzuz, Nas album, and a great Tyler the Creator interview. Boom.
We're good.
I'm straight, bro. I'm
fabulous.
Cool. I'm cool, man.
Yo, this has been the Rap Life Review for Nadeska and Low. I'm Ebro. We're here every week. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening to the Rap Life playlist, which is available at that in Apple Music. I see y'all maybe next week, maybe not. I don't know, man. It's August,
man. If Lo shows up, if you show up. I'm always here, people. I show up to work on time. Bye.